Hey guys, it's me, Bailey here, and welcome back to another video on my channel. So today, I am creating a Fairycore cottage. Now, I first of all want to preface this video by saying that a while back, I created a cottagecore house, and I enjoyed making that so much. Now, if you don't know what cottagecore is or Fairycore, they're kind of the same thing. I've done a bit of research. I could have gone super in depth. I decided not to. But Fairycore and cottagecore are very, very similar. Fairycore is basically cottagecore, but with pastels and pinks and things like that. That's from what I know. If you are a Fairycore expert, feel free to educate me, but that's what I know. And I based this house off of Fairycore, so there are a ton of cottagecore aspects, like the kitchen is super cluttered, and of course there are tons of plants. You'll see that I kind of go crazy with the landscaping, and then just throughout the home I put a ton of plants, but I also add different pinks, and I didn't try to go overboard because that's just not my style. You'll see that originally I just make everything pink, and I took a step back and I was like, wait, no, Bailey, you're going a little too overboard with this, because at the same time I still wanted to make it look very earthy, of course, because a fairy lives here. I really wish that we had fairies. I know I've said before that I don't like the occult. I don't like playing with them. I don't have the vampires pack, and it is not a priority for me. It just seems kind of not boring, but it's just definitely not my play style. I do think that vampires comes with a lot of nice build buy items, so I might have to get it for build buy alone, but I would really like fairies. I think they would be a really nice addition to the game. I wish we just had a supernatural pack with fairies and werewolves and vampires and maybe even spellcasters, although now that I'm thinking about it, there are some benefits to them getting their own packs. They're definitely more fleshed out, I feel like, than in the Sims 3 days. I've never played the Sims 3, but I remember watching so many Supernatural Let's Plays, and I think they did really well with Supernatural, but I also feel like now that they have their own game packs, they might be getting more items that are tailored towards them. I don't know. And another thing that I really like about them getting their own game packs is the fact that they get their own worlds, which is really nice. What was the one that came with Supernatural called? Moonlight Falls. That world was gorgeous, but I do like the idea of them getting their own worlds tailored to them. And imagine a world that would come with a fairies pack. That would be gorgeous. I'm imagining giant flowers and giant mushrooms, maybe giant insects if they want to go that route. That's a little bit out there, but I honestly wouldn't mind it. Kind of a stupid idea, but anyway, I just want some new stuff in The Sims 4. If you can't tell, back to the whole cottagecore / fairycore thing, I really want to do a series where I renovate apartments based on different aesthetics. Now, a couple of days ago, I did an aesthetic apartment. It wasn't based off of one specific aesthetic, but I still felt like it was very aesthetically pleasing, you know? So that inspired me to think about doing this apartment renovation series where I look at different aesthetics. I don't actually know how many. I mean, I'm sure there's an unlimited amount, but how many are really popular? I can only really think of cottagecore and fairycore because those are the ones that I like. I know there are a couple of other cores, like there's kidcore, angelcore, some other ones, so I might be bringing that to the channel really soon. I've been really enjoying apartment renovations recently. By the way, you may notice that the camera angles in this video are a little bit weird, and I never really wanted to tell you this, but I honestly don't know why I have more than 2 subscribers, because I didn't have a mouse, okay? I was building with the touchpad. Is it called the touchpad or the trackpad? You know, on the laptops. I was building with that, and it was such a struggle because you can't get to certain angles. I was also building with the Sims 4 camera, which is kind of what you need to do when you have only the touchpad. It was an absolute mess, so I was just getting used to all of the new things that I can now do in this video, because this was the first time that I was able to use my mouse. If you don't use a mouse and you play on a laptop and you use the touchpad, it is a whole new world when you get a mouse. And the mouse that I got was only, I think, $11 from Best Buy, so you can just make that purchase and it will change the building game forever. I tweeted out that this was my first build with using a mouse, and people were shocked because no one builds without a mouse, so thankfully I have one now. I don't know why I didn't get one sooner. I think it's just because I really like building on the couch. on my bed. I don't always build on a desk. Does that make sense? I don't always have my laptop on a desk. I'm usually on the go like throughout my house. So it was interesting to finally be able to use one. You might see me move kind of sporadically, but I cut most of it out because I didn't want to physically pain you. So you're welcome. Anyway, you're going to notice that a good portion of this video is just dedicated to me doing the landscaping. So I was just pulling out a bunch of random stuff from the debug catalog, and I ended up sizing up these pink flowers. I've seen Miss Sim Reno do it before, and I thought that it looks so whimsical and beautiful. There are some flowers that came with the Romantic Garden stuff pack that would have been perfect, but sadly I do not have that pack. So we just ended up going with a lot of base game flowers and surprisingly a lot of Discovery University. These low-lying pink flowers are from Discovery University, and then of course the mushrooms are from Discovery University, and then I put some ivy on the front of the house that is also from Discovery University. I don't really think about the plants that come with Discovery University all that often just because I don't think we got any that you can access without cheats, but once you get into the debug catalog, you will find so many different things. I was thinking about using the Jungle Adventure Ivy because that item is absolutely chef's kiss. I don't know what I did without it. I remember when I first got Jungle Adventure and I built like a little vacation home in Selva Dorada, and I remember that the thumbnail on the gallery for this house did my build absolutely dirty, so I went in before I uploaded it and I just added a ton of that ivy, and I won't lie to you, she fixed it. I did a good job placing that ivy, and the gallery thumbnail was a little bit better. I still wish that we were able to make our own gallery thumbnails. I know that you can do certain poses when you make Creative Sims stuff, but for us builders, it is so hard sometimes to make our gallery thumbnails look nice, especially because it feels like EA set us up to fail. There are certain lots where, I know there's one in Sulani where a boulder blocks the view of the entire house, or I think there are a few where trees block your view. It's really cute. I love that EA didn't even test that. It's so fun. Anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. So if you do hear some thunder, that is because it just started raining. Of course, just my luck that when I sit down to record a voiceover, it starts thundering. I'm surprised that my neighbor didn't start mowing his lawn, but I'm going to cover it up, of course, with some background music. Speaking of background music, I recently changed mine up and I'm really liking the results. I hope that you guys do too, because I used the same 3 songs for multiple months. It was getting old, it was getting stale, so I decided to switch it up. I just didn't change it for such a long time because I was really worried. So about maybe 3 months ago or something, I remember the specific video and I ended up deleting it, but I made a base game only home, and it's kind of sad because it got quite a few views and that means it got watch time, you know, and I'm trying to get monetized soon, fingers crossed. But anyway, I put that video out into the world, and of course I had screenshots at the end, so I needed to add some music, and I decided that I wanted to use music from a YouTube channel called Audio Library. So this wasn't directly from YouTube, but I'm pretty sure that this channel is run by YouTube. I could be wrong. I probably am if we know my track record, but I was looking in the description of all of these videos and they said that all you needed to do was say that you use this music and give credit and copy and paste just a couple of lines that shared the person's SoundCloud, you know, whoever made it. It was just giving credit, and I was like, okay, free money. We're gonna use this music, it's gonna be fine. And I ended up using it and I got a copyright claim. And ever since then, I've been really scared to use music from anybody, so I only use music that I see on other people's videos. I don't know, I don't want to talk about it too much, but it was kind of scary, especially since I don't know really what can happen if you get claims. I know that they can put ads on your video. That happened to me once when I used to do non-Sims videos, and it was completely fine, but now that I kind of really care about this channel, it just freaks me out. By the way, the corporation, would you even call it that? The group that copyright claimed my video was named Believe Music, and what they do is they remix these songs from audio library slightly, and somehow they're able to claim that, and then through this technology that YouTube has, apparently they can claim other people's videos too. I don't know, man. YouTube just lets a lot of stuff fly under the radar, it seems like, and of course I don't blame them. Imagine monitoring YouTube as a whole. That must be an incredibly difficult job, but still, remember Tom? Remember how Tom would pop in and out of our comment sections? What happened to him? Where is he now? Did YouTube end up banning him? I don't know. Anyway, so we basically ranted through the entire kitchen. I ended up going with the green Parenthood countertops. I like the Parenthood countertops a lot. They are second to the Jungle Adventures ones, and I tried to clutter up the kitchen as much as possible. I still think that you're able to use it because there's an island. I don't really know though. When I started building, I didn't leave any countertop space free, so it's a bit of a bad habit. I tend to forget that people actually download my stuff off of the gallery, so a lot of the times I don't playtest my builds, and I don't keep in mind that like your sim can't teleport, but I'm working on it, okay? And that's all that matters. I think I forgot to mention that this home is only 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom, and the second floor is like partially accessible, so there is the majority of the second floor that is connected, and then there is this little spire that was the perfect place for the bathroom on the first floor, but sadly, because of the floor plan and the fact that I wasn't gonna put a ladder in the bathroom, the spire isn't accessible on the second floor, which is completely fine. I really enjoyed making the second floor a loft space, so we used the Realm of Magic bed and we added a desk. I think that that's a really pretty area. I wish it had a couple of more windows, but it's whatever. Anyway, we'll move on to the second floor in a second, but I'm just cluttering the bathroom up a little bit. This is where the mouse came into play. I was loving the fact that I didn't have to completely be in the aerial view. If you're a builder, you know of the aerial view. You can access it by pressing T, and it's definitely a lifesaver, especially when you are making floor plans. But anyway, I need to stop ranting about this whole mouse thing, but this was the first time that I got to decorate a bathroom with it, and those tight spaces used to be pretty much impossible. Look back into any of my previous videos and you will see just me placing toilet paper and having to go into certain angles and having to see if it was a certain level off the ground. Absolute cringe. I was a disappointment, and I kind of still am, but I still am very happy that I was able to get a mouse. It's not that much of an improvement, but I'm happy with it. Happy enough to rant about it, but you will see, or you have seen, that I ended up going with the Realm of Magic bed. I was gonna go with the Seasons one, but I don't use the Realm of Magic one very often, and of course it's very whimsical. I feel like it's a little too bulky for my liking. It doesn't fit many spaces. I also use the Realm of Magic curtains. I can't remember the last time that I used them. They're very pretty, but they don't fit in a lot of situations. I just used a lot of items that I don't get to use all of the time, which is always good. I think I might do a video where I only use items that I've never used before. I've seen a couple of people do that recently. I think that challenge would be super fun, and I haven't done a challenge in a while, so I don't know. That might be coming to the channel soon. But anyway, we are getting to the end of this video, so thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you did enjoy it. If you did, a like would be very appreciated. Also know that I post new videos every other day, so if you want to be notified whenever I post, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye!